What's going on, everybody? It's WebsterStyle, Brian Sapph, bring you another edition of the NRW Checkpoint. Brian, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm awake. I'm functioning, so I can't complain on that one.
Good.
Brian, it looks like the juggernaut of the season is finally hit, because this week there are definitely fewer games to talk about than we have the past couple weeks, but we will get into that juggernaut. And I think if you're watching this, you'll probably know what that juggernaut already is.
Right.
So first up, we have the Invincible on the PS5, Xbox Series S, X, and PC. It is from Starwood Industries as the developer and 11-Bit Studios as the publisher. Rethink humanity's dominion in the Invincible, a story-driven adventure set in a hard sci-fi world by Stanislaw Lem. Discover planet Regis 3 as scientist Yasna. I cannot read today. Yasna. Yasna's actually a pretty name. Use autopunk tools looking for a missing crew and face unforeseen threats. Make choices in a philosophical story that's driven by science. Interesting.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Yes, it really, really does.
And are we watching?
We are not watching the trailer for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of good choices this week of watching the trailers, and one obvious one we kind of have to do. So, you know.
Yeah.
Next up is a game that actually may be somewhat redeeming, even though the publisher has the name that it has. It makes me a little bit skeptical. We'll see. It is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 on pretty much everything: PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX Series SX, Switch, and PC. Is from developer Fair Play Labs, but developer Game Mill Entertainment. Does not give me the warm fuzzies when your publisher is Game Mill. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 lets you duke it out with the biggest and best fighting character roster yet. Choose your favorite brawlers, master their unique movesets, and use all new powerful supers to land the finishing blow with friends or across a unique roguelike player campaign. Now, Brian,
yes,
I learned something new when I saw this game.
Okay.
So I had to do some research. I didn't realize that Nickelodeon owned Garfield.
Garfield. I mean, I'm trying to think. Was Garfield? I feel like I saw that on Nickelodeon at some point.
Well, I know it's been on there, but I didn't realize, in this case, Viacom actually owns Garfield, and they bought the parent company that owned Garfield and everything like 2019. I said, really?
Yeah, that was.
I never knew.
Yeah, me either. Interesting. So he's in the game?
Yeah, he's in the game. He's on the cover, and I was like, oh, why is Garfield in a Nickelodeon game? And I was like, yeah, so Garfield's in the game too. So Garfield and the Ninja Turtles are owned by the same person. It's really kind of strange when you think about it.
Is it the whole cast of Garfield or just
probably? They own it all. U.S. Acres, the whole kit and caboodle is owned by Viacom, aka in this case Nickelodeon. So
okay. And do we have is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls 2, is that free to play? Do you know?
No, it's not free to play.
Okay. But
we are watching a trailer for it though, so we see how it shapes up. I'm thinking it may be, something like this. I'm automatically thinking, oh, this may be a Smash Brothers clone, but we could be pleasantly surprised on this one. It's the second one, so they had a little bit of longevity under their belt.
I agree, I'm not opposed to any Smash Brothers clones. I think we talked about on here before how I play. I can't remember it now. Is it the DC one?
Yes,
Warner Brothers. What is it? Yeah, I forgot that fast.
Multiverses.
Either way, yes, multiverses. Yeah. Either way, I mean, Nickelodeon, I grew up with that, so I might be more inclined to pay and play. We'll see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand what you're saying there and totally agree with you on that one. All right, next up, we have Salt and Sacrifice on the Switch and PC from Devour Studios as the publisher and Sky Studios as the, excuse me, I got another round, is the Devoured is the developer, Sky is the publisher. Join your fellow marked inquisitors in this online co-op successor to the award-winning 2016 Souls-like Salt and Sanctuary. A once peaceful kingdom is plunged into chaos by encroaching tides of mages, merciless embodiments of elemental chaos. The marked inquisitors, a doomed force of the condemned, once again mobilize to stand against the existential threat of magic. A buried secret threatens to bring an ancient empire to utter ruin. So we have the sequel
Zelda.
to a Souls-like. Yeah, basically. Yeah, Zelda. So we are not watching the trailer for that one, but you kind of get the gist of it based on that. Souls-like, sword, sorcery, magic, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Risk of Rain returns on the Switch and PC. It's
Is that a bad thing?
from. Say it again.
No, I was just saying, is that a bad thing? What's wrong with the rain?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like the rain personally in most cases.
Same.
It's from Hoop Games and Gearbox Publishing. Carefully designed, beautifully mastered, and loaded with new ways to play. Risk of Rain is back and better than ever. Dive into the iconic roguelike full of unique loot combinations, enhanced with new survivors, overhauled multiplayer, fan favorite content from Risk of Rain 2, and more. So it's a roguelike, and it's kind of 8-bitish from what I saw. So it's not overly unique looking. I'll put it that way.
Okay, that's cool.
Next up, we have 9 Years of Shadows. So, and this from Halberd Studios as the developer and Freedom Games as the publisher. 9 Years of Shadows, a side-scrolling Metroidvania by Halberd Studios. Travel alongside Europa, a brave warrior determined to enter the mechanical giant Talos and stop the corruption within before it swallows the world into darkness. Battle through tainted creatures, meet charismatic musicians, and uncover the truth behind the curse that robbed the land of all color. And we are watching a trailer for that one because that sounded really cool.
It does. I was about to ask. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have a recharged version of a game that I remember playing a lot of as a kid. It is none other than Berzerk Recharged on the PS4, Xbox One, SX, PC, and Switch from developer Sneaky Box, publisher Atari. Blast your way through an endless maze inhabited by deadly robots and their invulnerable menacing master, Evil Otto. Tagging a friend in local co-op to help you survive this twin-stick revival of an arcade classic. And we are watching that one just because.
Okay.
I grew up on Atari, so yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I feel like I've played Berzerk before.
You probably have. Once you see it, because I haven't watched the full thing, but I remember the gameplay of it, and this looks pretty cool based on the pictures that I saw, and I think you probably played Berzerk before.
Okay.
Next up, we probably have the second biggest release of this week, and this is Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name in PS4, 5, Xbox One, S, X,
like that title.
PC. Yes. And is dropping on Game Pass game one, so day one, not game one. Day one is from Ryoga Gotoku as a developer and Sega as a publisher. Erase your past to protect your future. Once a legendary Yakuza, Kazuma Kiryu faked his own death and abandoned his name for the sake of protecting his family. Now he is thrust into conflict by a mysterious figure attempting to drive him out of hiding. And we're not watching a trailer for that, but if you're familiar with the Yakuza and Like a Dragon series, you know these games have really started to garner a fan base in the past couple years, especially with them dropping on Day Pass game. I keep saying Day Pass. I got Day Pass. Game Pass Day One in the past year or two. I think all of the Yakuza games, mainlines, are still on Game Pass, I think. But they have been able to branch out to a wider audience, and this is continuing that tradition that Sega and Microsoft have set out as far as getting further exposure of that game.
Yeah, I feel like they just been doing a really good job of tying all those games together. There's a lot of world building going on there, so I can see why it's garnered so much fanfare.
Yeah, it really has. And then last but not least is the 500-pound gorilla of the room,
literally
of the week.
500 gigs.
All right, let's say everybody. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It's on the PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX, and Switch. It's published as Activision, but they usually have all of their other game studios working on it as developers. So I'll just say Activision. In this case, like Beanox, Toys for Bob. Everybody had a hand in the Call of Duty games, which hopefully will change with the acquisition. But that's another conversation. I don't know. Microsoft, they seem like they hell bent on really bringing some creativity out of Activision. So we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is the direct sequel to the record-breaking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Isn't every Call of Duty record-breaking?
I mean, they really just putting these adjectives in there just because. Like, it's Call of Duty, and it did good before, and it's going to do good in the future.
Exactly. Captain Price and Task Force 141 face off against the ultimate threat, the ultra-nationalist war criminal Vladimir Makarov.
Makarov, yeah.
Yeah, Makarov, thank you. I thought I was saying that wrong. Is extending his grasp across the world, causing Task Force 141 to fight like never before. Now, Brian, are you a fan of Call of Duty?
No, I'm not. I gave it up quite some time ago.
I think we've had this conversation before. I don't know what it is. In the past, say, what, 20 years almost? Because I'm thinking of like the original Modern Warfare, and that's when like it really, really blew up. I have this thing about killing real people, like these war simulators.
There you go. I'm with you.
I'm not saying they're bad games. I'm saying they've never appealed to me.
Okay.
So when Call of Duty comes on every year, I don't get the hype at all.
I mean, so I used to really, really like Call of Duty, and it really is Call of Duty is like probably one of the first like online games that like implored you to have some kind of like skill in order to play it. Like you weren't loading up into a match and just, keeping up with everybody else who's been playing for like months and weeks and days and hours and stuff before. So I think that's where it comes in. It's one of the, I don't want to say one of the few games, but it's one of the most notable games that actually challenges people to be good at first person shooting. And for whatever reason, Americans have this fixation on war, which I'm quite curious as to how Russia feels about being the bad guy, like everything that America does dealing with war. But maybe that's a conversation for another day. Either way, it's guns, so it appeals to everybody who likes guns and collects guns and everything. It's military. You know how many military people are in the world today, especially in the United States. And then it's shooting, which is America's pastime. So it's pretty much a no-brainer. It's nothing. It's really nothing deep about it. It's just like, I want to get on the game and just shoot at things mindlessly. Maybe have a little objective, but my main thing is to get the most eliminations, and that's pretty much what people do.
Understood. Well, speaking of that, our first trailer this week is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
It's a battle of perception. You control what people believe. You control the world.
Makarov's writing his own rules.
My comrades, we stand reunited!
You want some war?
The time has come to show them The meaning of true power.
Available November 10th. Pre-order and play the campaign now.
Yeah, I know that was brief, but I hate to sound apathetic about it, but it seems like, and especially since it's Modern Warfare 3, and it continued the story for 3 years now, it just looks like the same old, in my opinion.
It is. And the interesting part about this is not, I don't know if you're familiar, but Call of Duty, they like rebooted the Modern Warfare branch. Yeah, it's very weird. I don't understand it. I kind of fell off somewhere along Black Ops 3, or actually the first Modern Warfare game that came out. But either way, yeah, shoot, stab, kill. that's Modern Warfare.
Basically.
Yeah, they've over time, I will say, with the addition of the online, I mean the battle royale kind of like attachment you got to it. It has took a little bit of an interesting turn. There are like 2 game modes on there that I actually like, but still playing it all day, every day, it's not. And we're not even gonna talk about how large the files are for this game.
Yeah, we didn't talk about. I remember the conversation last year. I haven't even gotten into it for this year.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, that's our take on
train.
Right. Like, don't have a serious S.
Right.
Like, for real.
It's not going down.
It's not going down. All right. Let's start taking on COD. Right. Exactly. You definitely need a spare hard drive or a card.
Yeah.
All right. That's our take on COD MW3. Let's go to a bit of old school goodness, revisited with Berzerk Recharged.
Destroy the intruder.
I really like what they're doing with these recharge games.
That's funny. You will die, but how long can you survive? That's the name of the game.
You know, this is interesting because watching this reminds me. Do you remember the ill-fated Intellivision Amigo they tried to come out with a couple years ago?
What is it?
The Intellivision Amigo. Okay, so it was a Kickstarter that Tommy Tallarico did. He had bought the Intellivision license, so he kickstarted basically a new Intellivision console, and the whole premise was to bring a lot of these old classics, in this case from Intellivision, back to life with a modern twist, with a game console that was really for everybody. Well, I'm not getting into specifics of what happened. It didn't happen because I didn't keep on it. Let's just say that it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah, never happened. But seeing Berzerk reminds me of what they attempted to do with a lot of those older Intellivision games of ours, making them more modern, yet still retaining the sort of the play style and the feel of the original game. So that's what has me excited for Berzerk Recharged. And again, I think they also have Asterisk Recharged and a couple other recharged versions of classic Atari games that have come out. But that looks pretty cool. What you think?
I agree. I like nostalgia is gonna win every time. Like, especially a lot of these games are literally like the blueprint for some of the games we have today. So it's always gonna be fun to go back and like see where games came from and how they've evolved. I like stuff like this. I don't know. I grew up in a generation that was like, by the time I was able to go to the arcade without parent supervision, they was closing down. So it's like I like seeing old stuff like this kind of come back and give me an opportunity to, like, you know, see what drew people to video games in the first place.
Right.
And you mentioned Astro. I know I've played that one, so I'm definitely interested in Berzerk.
All right. Well, that's our thoughts on Berzerk Recharge. Let's go into 9 Years of Shadows.
That's a long time.
I love the way it looks. It looks like a watercolor now. I like the way it looked. It had that familiar sort of Metroidvania sort of gameplay, but it seemed like it really did get a really good job of carving out its own sort of niche from its art design, as well as just, again, not experience how it plays, but it looks like it plays, you know, like a Metroidvania, but offers some differences there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I don't know, something about the play style of it. It kind of made me feel like, yes, definitely Metroidvania, but then also like it kind of made me feel like Sonic a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a side scroller. Either way,
I can see that the
dope.
colors and everything. I do get a sort of a Chaos Emerald sort of vibe sometimes. Yes, I can see that.
Yeah, it looks good though. I'm interested to understand like the story there, because of these different suits and whatever, they seem to be based off of some kind of Greek mythology, possibly. See Gaia and stuff in there, but the game looks cool.
Yep. All right. Last but not least, let's go up against. Well, let's see how Leonardo Sai goes up against Garfield Lasagna Blast in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
Which I never did. They ever explain why a cat
I can't be able to say Leonardo had a side.
I am Clockwork. You must stop Plasmius. You must find and defeat him in battle.
What, they got a story? What?
Yeah, I see, right? Okay, it's a roguelike campaign. So they got the hitters in there too. Danny Phantom. Everybody.
Sure is hot in here. You're gonna be
Aang. Guitars in there too? What's going on? I mean, it's not guitar. That girl's name is Cora. Okay.
Yo, this plays as good as it looks.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised at that.
Me too. I wasn't expecting. I mean, because we talked about the roguelike story or whatever. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. It seems that it may be character driven like stories.
Yeah,
or maybe you'll be able to use all of the characters on one. I don't know. I'm interested.
Yeah, that looks from the roguelike stuff, the solo campaign. First, that's a solo campaign, okay?
Right.
That's roguelike.
And a fighting game. That's not
right.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like just straight run in the mill, sort of the typical
fight this.
You go up the ladder and you're fighting game sort of thing. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Which
I have to check this out.
Yeah, and kudos to Nickelodeon for coming with something different, because that's one thing now. Like, we talk about Smash Brother clones, they really just be brawlers. Basically. They really, So for them to come with a little story mode that seemed to have like elements of Metrovania style gameplay, or even because I kind of felt like Mario a little bit watching the characters.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
Stuff. So, I don't know. This is dope. I'm interested in that. Hopefully the price tag is not too hefty, or Nickelodeon might be able to get me.
I don't think it's a full price game. I think it may be $59.99, if not $49.99. Oh, do you know I was surprised what was $49.99 is not related but related?
What's that?
Assassin's Creed Mirage.
It's $50.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
At least on PC, I was like, what?
Okay.
I was shocked, but
okay. You should be.
Yeah, for real. I was shocked. But yeah, I don't think it's a $59.99 name. I think it's maybe $50 for Nickelodeon All Star, which is based on
it's $50. It's $50.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a fair price for this game. It looks pretty cool.
It is. I'm looking at some of these reviews. Steam is a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Yeah, I think
10 on IGN.
Yeah, I saw on the Game Informer, whatever, it was already at an 8.
Okay, they might
it's
have
got good reviews. It's a good time of year to drop it.
I agree. Going into Christmas time.
Yep.
Perfect for the kids.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
So that's it for our games this week. Brian, what's going on with you, man?
I just put out a new piece of audio for the Talk+Play blerdcast, just recapping my experience at the One Music Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm working on putting something else out soon, another episode, because I got Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
And I started that last night, which I see why the game is getting as much praise as it's getting, because that opening like mission story, it's fire. And then I'm trekking my way through Final Fantasy 16, and then there were some new things announced with like Overwatch. Have a new character coming. Same thing with Apex. There's a new character in the game now.
That Maui ripoff.
Right. But yes, so I'm excited. I got plenty of things to discuss with gaming as well as some like other industry stuff. So working on another episode, but outside of that, nothing pressing, just day-to-day life. What about yourself? What you got going on?
There's a lot this week and a lot coming next few weeks. This week, dropped 170 of the podcast, talking about RoboCop Rogue City, talking about my level of coffee and this new coffee company. It was not really new, but I finally bought some of that coffee and it was absolutely amazing.
What is it called?
It's La Maria Dark. It's from a local company here from El Viejo Coffee. I love dark roasts. They're local here to the little shopping center, local base. They source it directly from Colombia.
Okay.
Oh, good. The coffee's so good. I literally drink it every day. Forget Starbucks.
Have you had Black and Bold?
I have not.
Okay. I hear good things. That's all.
Okay.
That's all I'm
asking. Check that out. And then my audio interview with adult actress Liv Revamped is there as well. She's big in anime cosplay, so that was really cool as well. And then that was Monday. Now this week, well, no, let me get to I'll get to the rest of the debauchery later because that's related. I did an interview at the time of this recording yesterday with Cherie Bryant, who is the owner and perfumer of Black Essence, local company here as well. Same spot as the coffee spot. So we've kept missing each other. We finally chopped it up and done an interview yesterday, and that's actually posted today. In addition to, Kuya P and I, we had an adventure this weekend.
I saw.
And, we went up to Exotica in New Jersey. And so those interviews start going out. So my interview with the living legend herself, Misty Stone, went up today. And this week also my interview with Fox will be up on Friday. And you'll see a whole lot more from Exotica as we go along this week. And also Game Bites as well is up both on Nerds of the World as well as WebsterStyle. We talked about last week, Thirsty Suitors, which is a riot. I'll put it that way. It is definitely a fun game to play.
Yeah, I looked into it. I'm probably gonna add it to my list.
Yeah. You won't be disappointed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us. That's going on for all our areas. You see how you can find us over here, but you are currently Nerds Who Lore. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the NRW, on Instagram, News Wednesday, and of course on YouTube. That's where you are. That's where you're watching us. Hopefully, if not, let us know where else you're watching us at. We need to know. But make sure you like, share, and of course, subscribe.